Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to another Friday night live stream of the Georgia Shooting Connection. We're glad you're here. Hope everybody had a good week. So, Kyle, kick us off, man.
Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at. It's been another one of those weeks. Work's been just brutal, and I'm really tired, but I'm here and looking forward to dive into all of the fine and crazy topics that we're going to come up with tonight. We got a couple ideas. Hope y'all got a couple of ideas. And let me see if I can remember how to do this. Somebody hadn't been here in a minute.
Evening, y'all. I got caught up in hunting season. So if any of y'all wives had complained about why y'all ain't never at home during hunting season, you now have a champion that can provide some justifications and have the talk.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome home, ma'am.
She's forgotten how to hand it off. It's been so long since she's been here.
It has.
Russ,
If I can do this right. No. There you go.
Good evening. Like it's been said once already, it's been another one of those weeks. But I've just been, when I'm not at work, I've been busy in this room right here cleaning and getting stuff situated and trying to get ready to go to the gun range. And I got a lot of loads put together to go try out and a couple of new toys and trying to make time to get all that done. And between that and work, and feel almost bad because I'm neglecting the little one and the wife, but they'll get theirs. What you got going on, Jamie?
I got an idea. Take them to the range with you tomorrow.
My youngin', he loves it. Every time a gun goes off, he laughs. He cackles like it's the greatest thing. So we're good to go.
Hey, Jason, check your email, buddy. I sent you an email this past week, and I didn't get a response. So, if you don't mind sending me an email, I got a question or two for you. So,
Hey, Fuzz, how you doing, buddy? I've been watching those video links that you've been sending me. I have to binge watch them. So by the time I get done watching them, I ain't got time to email you back. But keep sending them, brother, because I'm really enjoying it. Of course, it drives Angel crazy, but I'm enjoying it.
Really, Fuzz, the 10th season of Swamp People? I mean, how many times you got to see somebody shoot an alligator between the eyes and then pull him up in a John boat? I mean,
let me tell you how next week's gonna go. Come on, Billy Bob, let's get in this John boat. We're gonna ride over here. We're gonna hang a live chicken from this tree. We're gonna sit there. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna come back next day. See if that chicken's gone. If chicken's gone, we're gonna grab on that rope. If we grab on that rope, you grab that 22, and let's see what happens.
shoot him, Lisbeth.
Shoot him.
That's about it.
Yeah, really, John, it just don't, does it? John Handloading said it never gets old.
It doesn't. It's. I got a buddy that watches Oak Island religiously, and I said, let me tell you something. If they had found anything, you wouldn't be finding out on the TV show. That'd be all over the news.
This is what I'm
found
saying.
a nickel. They found a nickel. Of course, it was from 1985. Well, that's because in 1462 they knew we'd have nickels in 1985, so they went ahead and put one in there.
All right. This is what I'm telling you. Me, Russ, Kyle, and Chico finds a treasure trove of gold Spanish doubloons that are 300 years old.
I'm out.
You ain't going to hear about it. There ain't going to be no TV show down there or nothing about it. And I'll tell you, down in them swamps, down in South Georgia, Louisiana, and Florida, man, ain't no telling what you find in there. You might find a 1947 Packard with 3 dead bodies in it.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, if we find a dang chest full of gold, I got my ingot molds right here, and y'all ain't never gonna see me again.
That'd be hard to find as DB Cooper.
Love y'all, mean it, but I'm out.
We'll send you something, Sharonda.
I'll gladly accept it. But if I win anything, y'all get some nice packages in the mail, and I will cease to exist. At least for a few months.
I'm going to buy my own ocean with its own continent, and Sharonda, I'll send you enough to buy you a private jet and all the fuel you can stand to come visit.
I bet.
There's Mark. What's up, MCK? Hope you're feeling good, brother. Hope everything's going to suit you.
There's Lee just popped in. How you doing, Thoughts of an Old Soldier? Good to see you. Love watching your videos every day.
Oh my gosh.
Now that everybody knows what everybody's ringtone is.
Yeah. At least it ain't work.
Well, that's always a good thing, especially on Friday night.
So, yeah, one of the topics we want to talk about is what's your favorite brand of reloading dies and why. And should we go ahead and start on that? You want to wait around on to see if CW shows up, or
Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling, man. He can hop in.
Well, you know, I've not been reloading all that long. I think I've been doing this about 5 or 6 years now. And for the longest time, the only dies I had were Lee dies because that was readily available, affordable, and, you know, you don't know any better. So there's our buddy Kingpin. Thanks, man. So let me get this up here. There you go. Y'all can see some of you guys that are out there. But I thought, yeah, I just thought Lees were what everybody had and what everybody used. And Big E says works for him. So, yeah, man. So, but since I've kind of picked up a couple of sets of RCBS, and then I bought a set of Hornady dies, and that turned my eyes around when I got those Hornady dies. It's like, yeah, somebody put some real time into this, making these things. And then it's like I've never been able to afford any Dillon dies or anything like that, but y'all jump in when you can. Tell us what y'all like.
The majority of mine are Lees, especially the specific action dies like case neck expanding, trimming dies when I did it on the press and all that. Let's see what else. Sizing dies for cast, that kind of stuff. The majority of that is Lee. I started out with an RCBS set on 40 cal, and I kept running into problems that it would decap the piece of brass, and then on the downstroke, the primer would stay on the pin and it just suck it right back up in the hole. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know I've done 100 rounds. Why don't I need to refill the primers? And then I start sorting the bullets out, and I'm like, this is a lot of work. And so I made a couple of phone calls to some buddies and everything. And it turns out this is the reason that Dillon dies are a little more expensive. There's been a lot of thought put into them and a lot of time. The decapping die on dang near everything with Dylan has a spring cam over in it. It'll knock the pin out, but at the top of the stroke, there's a lever in there that'll flick the decapping pin. You'll hear it. You'll go down and it'll go thunk, and then at the top of the stroke, you'll hear click, and then you hear the primer hit the catch tray. I went and bought a set of. I bought the whole set of 40 cal dies from Lee. Would you hang on? And ever since then, it has not sucked a primer back in, and I haven't had to pull a single 40 cal round unless I messed up. So I bought the decapping pins for 9mm. I bought the whole set for 40. I wasn't going to buy the 308 die set because or the 30-06 die set because holy Lord, it goes from $60-$70 to $380 just because it says 30-06 on it. But I do love Dillon's. I've got a full set of 9s, a full set of 40s, a full set of 223s, and no, my 30. Ooh, no. I do have RC. I'll be done in a minute. My RCBS is a set of, or I'm sorry, my 45. Shit. Sorry, 44 Magnum is RCBS, and that is a very fine set of dies. And I'm done. Go ahead.
You want to go, Surrender, or you want me to go?
Well, my first press was a Dylan, so naturally I got majority Dylan dies. I've also got a couple of Lees. I'm not at that stage yet where I've experimented with different ones to figure out if I have a preference over one or the other. I'm pretty much at that stage now where whatever I get my hands on, I'll use. I think I have one set of RCBS dies that I haven't even used yet, but that's where I'm at. I'm still pretty fairly new.
I guess for me, long story short, in all my years of doing it, my favorite bottleneck dies are Hornady, hands down. Um, I've used some obscure brands, CH, C4, CH, C4D, Mighty Armory, and Hornady are my favorite bottleneck. My favorite pistol dies are Lee dies. They work. I mean they just work. And um, if you go along and you do this long enough, you're going to find things about each die manufacturer if you should experiment a little bit that you like and you don't like. So now I've kind of gone into I'll buy a set of dies and then I don't like this cedar, so I'll buy a single cedar out of another, or I'll trade with somebody. And so I've got a bunch of mixed up sets. But I guess my least favorite die, just for the simple fact that their decapping stands weak, is RCBS. I hate to say it. I mean they're great. They're great dies, but their weakest point for me is the decapping stand. Um, um, Mighty Armory AR gun 1776. He likes Mighty Armory dies. I I'm not gonna comment. Hey, that's the one die that'll never go in another one of my presses. I'm done with them, and they are not, to me. They're not worth the money that you spend on them. So, and if you want to know, I'll put my email and we'll talk about it outside of this chat. the guy that runs Mighty Armor, he's a nice guy, super, and he tries to help you to a certain extent, but then you're done. So I'm done. That's all I got.
Signal Soldier wants you gone. Explain.
Okay. I got one of the brand new 9mm sizing dies. It's not gonna, he said it's not gonna. You're not gonna see the bullet actually seated in the case. Well, the case won't hold a bullet. I ordered a 308 die, 223 die, and a 9mm die all at the same time. The 308 die, when it got to me, it had a scratch in it about 3/4 of an inch long. Sent it back and sent me another one. I didn't even run a piece of brass in that die now. And the whole time I was made to, he tried to make it feel like I had done it. And sorry, but I didn't do it. I didn't even run a piece of brass in that die. So I got another die. And no matter what I did, I used my homemade case lube. I used in the silver can. What's that? I got it somewhere. You know what I'm talking about, Kyle. But I used that, and it would stick a piece of brass, and it would rip in the neck. It would like rip shavings off. Well, there was a burr in the neck. So it's in the junk bucket over here. The 223 die, I like it. But the Imperial size and die wax, that's it. The decapping stem is about 1/4 of an inch too long. And I'm not even going to bother him to try to get another one. So, and I decap separately anyways. But now, sizing the brass, I mean, that's the smoothest die I have. But I'm just for 3 dies out of 4 to have a problem, and I've got 7 boxes of Hornady dies on the shelf, and not one single problem out of mass-produced dies. I'll just buy Hornady from now on.
What started me on Hornady was one of my buddies out there sent me a 350 Legend Hornady taper crimp die. And when I put that thing in my hands, it's like, yeah, this is different. It's like smooth, and it's like it's heavy, and it's well made, and all that kind of stuff. So I decided when I was going to buy 6.5 Creedmoor dies that I was going to try the Hornady dies because I really like that micrometer seating stem thingy. That's the stuff, man. I'm telling you,
that micrometer stem. If you buy it separately, it's very reasonably priced compared to buying a Redding or something. I mean, you can't beat the price of it.
It'll go in any of their custom grade bullet seating dies, and you can take one and
get under that ram. Yep.
There you go, right there. Okay, now back a few minutes ago, probably back quite a ways now, but Mark found me a set of lineman dies for $270. Honestly, I have not loaded 270 in a while, so I'm gonna have to. We got CW in the house. Well, almost. There he is. What's up, bro? Yeah.
Now let me see about this sound.
You sound great.
Yeah, but I don't hear you guys.
No.
All right, there we go. New earphones here.
Okay, can you hear us now?
I hear you.
Okay, what we're talking about is um, um, our favorite kind of dyes and why. And I used Lyman dyes to load 300 blackout, and I got those dyes to use next time I use 270. But to me, based on what Lyman is right there with Hornady, in my opinion. Hornady may be just a little bit up from a Lyman, but I think both of them are a little bit better uh, fit and finish in for than the RCBS.
I think the Lyman, the finish, the actual polished finish leaves a little bit to be desired versus the Hornady dyes.
I would agree. That's the only they work just as well. That's the only reason I would say that Hornady may be just a little bit better, a little bit above the Lyman. But and RCBS is the same way. They're about dead even on par to me with the now with the Lyman. And another thing that we back another few minutes ago, one thing I was going to bring up here is William C. Chapin said that all the manufacturers do have that one dye that's like really uh, just the nuts in that particular dye, like the Lee neck sizing dye, the Lee factory crimp dye, and then you got the Lyman M dyes and all that kind of stuff. So when a guy has been reloading and starts to get a little bit of experience, like if you could see my turret right here, like I've got the RCBS sizing die. I got and I'm doing 38 357, but right now I've got the RCBS sizing die. I got the Lee powder through expanding die, which is really cool. And then I got the RCBS bullet seating die, but I got the Lee factory crimp die. So what happens after you start getting some experience with what you're doing and using different dyes like that is you'll take one die out of like 3 different sets, and that's what makes up what you're doing. Do you find that, CW? Do you do that?
I do it with a few for sure. Yeah, I played around a lot with the blackout with different dyes, and I'm running a Forester sizing die for most of the MSRs, but I use a Lee neck sizing die for the Ruger bolt action. Far as my main die set for the 300 is a Redding set. It's a 321 300 set. It's an old before Whisper was Whisper die set. If I had to pick a top die set for me, it'd be probably Redding, Forester, C&H, RCBS, Lyman, Hornady, Lee, probably in that order.
Now, see, I've not heard of C&H.
They're an old time company. They've been around quite a while. Forester seating dies, they make a really nice match seating die. I like that a lot. It's very similar to what Hornady uses. It's just a little nicer, a little more refined. The Hornady's got the whole case comes down and it surrounds your whole case, and then the whole thing pushes up inside the seating die.
Yeah.
That's the way the Forester works, but it's
Okay.
much more more refined. It's probably a little closer tolerances. It feels much nicer.
The Forster size and die has the decapping pin and the expander button rides on like a rubber O-ring. It's been a while since I've had
Mhm.
Forster dies, but that helps a lot with concentricity
Mhm.
also. And
Yeah, that's what I found with the 300. It produces a better case.
because when you draw the die out, that expander button self-centers because of the slack in that O-ring.
It's also tapered on both sides, both ends. It's
Yes.
not very abrupt like a lot of the other ones. Yeah, I like them a lot. They're a lot more expensive, but I buy them here and there for different calibers. I do like them a lot, but I find
I remember the problem that I had with Forster and Redding is they're so polished on the inside.
yeah.
The vent holes are so small.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
I get more dents in the necks and
Yeah.
in the shoulders, and so I migrated away from them, and
They just make you clean it a little more regular, but the benefit of it is it's a much better polish. So if
right.
where usually you might clean your dies once in a while, you probably ought to clean them every time or every other time you use them with
Right.
the Redding and CH. Because you're right, you get a little lube, the lube clogs up the hole, and then you start having problems. But that's what I like. When I tested, if you guys watch Johnny's Reloading Bench, he went through the same thing, and I did it about the same time he did it. So it's kind of funny watching him find a lot of the same things I found, and that was that Forester seating die it produced the best bullets for me, short of best cases, short of that Lee neck sizing die. I'm really not a big fan of Lee dies, but I got to give credit. Their neck sizing dies have been really good. I've got a few calibers, and they really, really do work well.
They really do.
Yeah.
Their neck sizing dies and their factory crimp dies are as good, if not better, than anybody else's in the business.
Well, their factory crimp die, it does work good, and I've got a few of them. I used to call them the solution to an unknown problem, but it really does. I think their biggest asset, especially to new loaders, is they force you to crimp in a separate step, and that alone is enormous for new loaders. Like if you talk to Timmy there, the Emperor, he likes to crimp and seat at the same time. I've heard him say it a bunch of times. And if everything's good, if your brass is all perfectly the same length, everything is perfect, it can work okay. I'm sure we've all done it from time to time, but by and large, your best stuff comes from crimping separately from seating, and that's one thing that the Lee does for you. It forces you to be separate. The second thing it does for you is if you're a little lazy with your trim and brass, it doesn't care what the brass length is. It's going to crimp whatever's there. Where a roll crimp is not going to be consistent unless your lengths are. Same for a taper crimp. It's to a little less degree, but same thing to a taper crimp. If your lengths of your brass are off or inconsistent, so will your crimps be, and so will the accuracy of your loads be.
I would agree. I have
Hello there, Kyle. You're muted.
How you
There
doing,
you go.
sir? Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a little business to take care of.
That's all right. I did too. I got a phone call about 10 minutes before we started. Is that a wrinkle down? What's that down the bottom there, Jamie?
That's what can happen when you seat and crimp at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You can have all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh,
If all of your brass is not exactly the same length.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it grabbed the top and shoved it to the bottom, and that's where it caved in.
Yeah.
I just send it; it'll iron out.
I was sitting here looking at my die sets before I came back, and I've got a bunch of hybrids up there. I've got RCBS in 2 stages, a Hornady in 1 stage, and then a Lee factory crimp die in the other one. And I don't think any of them are a full set, honestly.
when I have issues with a seating die, I've got a couple. I got a couple of the Lee seaters. That floating stem and a Lee seating die, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good little. I just cosmetically they are ugly, and I have a hard time getting over that.
Well, I probably have close to 100 die sets, and the only ones to ever failed me is Lee, and it's happened 3 times. I cracked a die carbide ring in half.
Yeah.
I've wasted a whole bunch. I'm not even counting those little aluminum caps that Lee uses that you strip the threads on right away. But I've cracked a die. I've cracked a carbide ring. And what else did I do? I did something else to one of them. And it's none of those things have ever happened to any of the other dies I've had for the past 40 years. Never had a problem.
The bad thing about Dillon dies is if you do manage to break a decapping pin, you can't go to Cabela's and pick one up.
Right.
You have to get with Dillon, and they don't have a problem with it. They will send you new decapping pins. They send them in a pack of 5. That way, because they know you were out of business on whatever caliber you were doing for about 5 days. And they're like, we're sorry here, even if you messed it up.
Yep,
And
they're good.
So I love that service. These are Hornady's in my 44 specials, and this die actually came in the die set. That's the neck expander, and it'll do this same die will do anything from I think it's 357 up to 500 as far as pistol dies go. And it came in the set because I've got a Lyman M die in the basement for 45 long Colt. I thought they were the only ones that made them, and then Lee come out with the universal. Yeah, with the 2 different flip flops and stack them or whatever, which was a great system. I used that as well, but I was amazed that the Hornady set came with that. Of course, go ahead.
I agree with Signal Soldier right here. I kind of like the mandrel thinking over the expanding die too.
Yeah.
The ball and the sizing die.
Some of them you can get carbide expander balls, and that makes a big difference. But they don't make them for everybody.
Right.
Hey, Meg. Bye, Meg. Oh Lord.
Yeah, so I like what I like this conversation right here, but yeah, the Lyman stuff. I need to go through the side chat. I'm just feeling like, well, golly, man, we've already been talking for 35 minutes. I can't believe it. The topic is good. People are exchanging ideas. All right, let me go through the side chat. We got West Covina Dodge out there. JC Texan, welcome in. Insight Freedom, Pink Shear Surrender is in the room. Big E, Mandrel's Rule, absolutely. MCK, hey Mark. We got Fuzz T Fork 8, Insight Freedom again. Bald and Curious, Mig, William C. Chapin's out there. Kyr, just some guy, welcome in. Kingpin. Did I say Bald and Curious? We got Signal Soldier, Thorzak, Dave's out there. AR Gun 1776, who is another Georgia boy. We got to get him on here. And he's got every kind of die you can think of. I've been reading his comments. Walter Davis. Good evening, sir. We got Willie Bullet Man. Kingpin, Big E. I got something to say about Big E here in a minute.
I didn't see Willie. I didn't see Willie popped in. Hey, buddy.
There's James Pollard. He got here at 8:28. Oh man, wife's singing. I'm gonna have to mute myself. Russ Brumlow is in the room. There's William C. Chapin. I want to welcome CW in. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Oh, sure. I'm glad I could make it.
We got Jag1. John's hand loading. I've been watching his stuff last couple of weeks. Tin Man, what's going on? John's hand loading. I've been watching some of his stuff. Leaving comments when I can.
Tin Man's my hero. He's got a 3D printer.
Yes, and he's generous.
I was going to say I don't know if he was here when I did my little unboxing live on air, but man, those wrenches are amazing. They work spectacularly.
Big Al was here but had to step out. Got James Pollard. Kingpin again. There's Thoughts of an Old Soldier. What's up, my brother? Kyle Lusk is in the room. There's Mario. What's up, brother? And Daniel God is my judge. So, very cool. So, let me see if I can get back down. Oh, yeah, we got Lever Guns 50.
Here he is. Yep.
Andy 79Z28. And James a vestige. A vestige. Yeah. We got Reloader 762 and JC Texan. I think I hit everybody. If I didn't call your name, you can throw us a comment out there and we'll get to you as quick as we can. So Tim Man says Lyman makes good dye. He don't like their seating dyes. He likes Dillon. So
a lot of guys complain about the Dillon dyes, especially their sizers. They tend to make a lot of hourglass looking cases. But it's just they're a little bit tighter tolerance, I believe. Especially on 44s, 45s, 41 mag. The longer cases, you really see it.
Longer straight walled.
Yeah.
I was going to say it depends on what you're loading with them. I haven't seen any issues, but
yeah, you don't see it as much with the bottlenecks, but with the 45 Colt is a big one I load a lot, and I see it on mine all the time. It's very noticeable. It doesn't hurt anything. It's working your brass a little more, but it hasn't been a problem.
Right. I know one thing. If you use too much, I use the lanolin alcohol mix.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't let them dry or you leave a little too much lube on there, man, them Dillons, they don't have a problem denting the case. They don't care. They don't care at all. But I love Dillon dyes.
Yeah,
but
I like them too.
Just like what Chappie said, every manufacturer has what they're known for. So, I mean, I'm looking up here at my 4-hole turrets for my Lee, and none of them have all the same brand dyes in them. None of them. So
I've still got a few black box Lyman All-Americans that I still use today.
Yeah.
Those were from my father. So they're 50 years old.
Let's see this.
All right, Chico just got here. Let's let him tell us his thoughts. We're talking about what are your favorite dyes and why.
Everybody went already? Oh, well, I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. Is
everybody
there? So I think I can only say what I have. No, you know what? I take that back. My first set that I ever bought was Hornady, and I didn't like it. I think it was something with that floating stem or something like that. So I took those back and got a set of RCBS dyes, and I do have Lee dyes. what else do I have? I have a set of. I actually really like the Dylan dies, but I think it's something has to do with that. It's got a. I've only got one. No, I've got 3 sets of Dylan dies, but I didn't pay full price for it. Let's say that they would.
Chico, are you watching National Geographic in the background?
Oldest accounts in this area come from stories passed down from the very first native settlers.
Who got passed around by the very first native settlers? Who's watching?
Oh, I got a History Channel on up here.
Okay.
The wife was watching it. I'm surprised you hear it though. I'll turn it down. It's only on 6.
But yeah, I do like the Dylan dies. I just don't like the price of them.
Well, you get extra dies with the Dylan. You're paying for that extra powder die. So they're more dollars and cents, but you're actually getting a couple more dies or another die in the set.
Yeah, so like my 45 set, I bought them from eBay off a guy, and it did come with everything. So yeah, I do agree with that. But the Lees work fine. One thing I do have almost with every set is a Lee factory crimp, except for my 45. I don't have a Lee factory crimp on it. I use the Dylan crimp on it. So I like the Dylan too because you can flip the stem, especially if you have the like the newer versions of them. You just pull out a like a clip. I just pull this clip out.
Flat nose versus round nose. Yeah,
and you know what? I know the name of them. They're called Dylan Dynamic dies. Because it's I guess the older versions didn't have it, but I've got RCBS, I've got Dylan, I've got I even got a Pacific
dies. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And those are unique.
Durachrome.
They're chrome.
Durachrome.
Yep. There we go. Durachrome. So they don't rust, which is awesome in my opinion. Because my RCBS, I have to lube them up every so often, and my Dylan. So I'm not much help on the dies, but right now I think everything is overpriced.
It is. Just sit back and relax. I think Dylan stayed the same, but everybody else has went psycho. The way I found out about the Lee full length seating die or factory crimp die is loading 44 Magnum. I've got a mold that casts some very fat bullets and I size them down, but they're still very fat. And the Henry lever action will eat them all day long, loves them, but they won't fit in the chamber of my Red Hawk. And I was like, this is not right. And through dealing with y'all and everybody in our community, somebody said, go spend $20, try this. So I went and spent $20 at Cabela's, came home, ran one round through there, plunk, dropped right in. I'm like, this is golden. So that works. It's got that sleeve that drops all the way to the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, it could be a pain in the ass to cast bullets though, because it grabs the bullets. So every time you lower your ram, it's really tight.
Yeah,
it pulls hard. There's only a tiny little bitty pin holding that whole sleeve in there. So buy extras. I've wasted 450 Bushmaster would cast bullets. It's not friendly. My 180 die set. I must be on a half a dozen at least pins I've broken, worn out.
I noticed the first time I ran it down, going to get it back out of the die, like, ka-kink.
Yeah, I actually took it out and put it in a lathe and opened it up just a little bit, and it was better. Yeah.
But it's still a fantastic die.
It is. It works. But I like to run 454s in my Bushmaster with cast bullets. So that's probably why I'm seeing the problem. It's supposed to be 4515, 452.
Right. They shouldn't call it 454 Bushmaster if you can't run a 454. That's the way I look at it.
The Casul is a different animal, but the I like fat bullets. Always have. They're always best.
You
They
wonder
shoot
why they
best.
call it a 44 Magnum when it's a 432.
I call it the 43 mag.
Right.
But it's a caliber. Caliber doesn't really mean anything. You call it anything. 38 special isn't 38. It's the caliber. It's not a diameter. But I'm with you. I call it a 43 mag, tongue in cheek. I've always been 45 guy.
It is. Don't
Yeah.
talk in code. Call it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't overstate it. It's fine calling it what it is. So what else are y'all loading?
A lot of shotgun.
Yeah, I thought you were. You're still on that shotgun kick.
Well,
I'm
that's
still
what
playing with the 410, but nothing else.
That's what I got primers for, and I got a lot of primers for it.
I'm
Yeah, I can still buy them around here. 209s, no problem.
It's too cold in my garage to load up shot shells, so hopefully it gets a little warmer for me to get out there, because I can sit outside and hunt all day in the cold. I can't work.
You ain't doing that at your house.
Right.
You mean your she shed ain't got a heater in it?
No, it don't. I mean, I have a propane heater I could use, but it ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of a little risky in case something happens, but
Yeah.
Speaking of that, my Lyman, what is it? The gold powder measure?
55? Lyman 55?
Well, it's the
Brad Smith.
Yeah.
that
The
one.
new one.
I'd taken it off. Actually, I don't think I took it off. It was still mounted to the press, but I had moved it and just barely mounted it, so it just hold it there. And apparently I or the dog or Angel or somebody opened the door too hard and it fell off. And so there was all kinds of heavy pistol powder in the floor because the powder measure wasn't empty because I wasn't done with it. And so there's gunpowder, not a lot, maybe half a cup, maybe a third of a cup, something like that. And she was like, "You want me to go get the vacuum cleaner?" I said, "No." So I went and got a dustpan and broom. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "You can't use a vacuum." She goes, "Oh, is it going to explode?" I'm like, "No, it'll just burn, but it'll ruin a vacuum." I got a fairly new vacuum and it still works really good, so I don't mind.
I've seen that happen to a friend of mine.
Did the vacuum cleaner go off or just ruin it?
No, it just ruined it.
Yeah. That's what I thought would happen. And she was like, "Is it going to explode if it's in the floor?" I'm like, "No."
Well, I ain't sure what all he was vacuuming up. It was in a shop, sawdust and gunpowder, and yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Oh yeah. She goes, "So if the vacuum catches on fire, I need to unplug it, right?" I'm like, "At that point, you take it outside."
Yeah. Take off.
James Pollard, do you have a video with that leaf flare die using the NOE expanders? I'd like to see that because I think I'm in the market for one of those leaf flare dies.
It's a pretty neat tool. Have you seen the die?
Yeah.
All right, you got those two little expanders, a small and a large.
Right.
The NOE kit has it's like a plug with a threaded pin on it, and you change out the size diameter that you want. So you just screw the part in, you put it in the die, put it back together, and you run it. Adjust it and run it. And it lets you pick the diameter of flare that you want to get based on your caliber. So it's a lot more precise. It's a lot more like the M die, but it's even more precise than that. And it's cheaper once you get the kit. It's pretty nice.
To answer Jason's question, I don't think so, in my professional medical opinion. Let's hear what y'all guys think.
Where's that question?
It depends on how much money you got in your rifle or the weapon. If you're running a multi-$1,000 custom chamber, then you probably need those dies. But if you're running just a semi-spec chamber, nah.
Oh, the competition die set. I didn't see the question. I read it. I see it now. I don't know. It's one of those things. I look at it like making sure your prior pockets are perfectly clean, making sure your flash hole is deburred. They probably make a difference, and it's probably seen more in some arenas than others. It certainly doesn't hurt, but how much good does it do? Tiny little improvements. Anything you can do to make your loads more consistent is going to make them more accurate. Anything you can do consistently the same is going to give you a consistent level of accuracy.
But
whether it's an improved accuracy or disproved, it's going to be more constant.
You're probably not going to notice it until 500 meters or more.
Yeah,
is the way I look at it.
That's right.
And not just that, it's an accumulative effect.
Mm-hmm.
So let me help Chico out right here, if I may. Let me blow this thing up here. Okay, Chico, this is the Lee Universal Expanding Die, and it looks basically like a Lee bullet seating die. But you take this out, and there's two different mandrels in there. And then you see this one is smaller and this one is bigger. So you can put the smaller one and stack them like that inside there for your like 223 or your smaller caliber pistol stuff, or you can only put one in there like that, and it'll be more suited for
4570 or something long and fat.
35 Remington, 30-06, whatever. But you can, from NOE, you can order these things, and they come and they look like this, and you see they have the steps.
That part is a lot like an M die.
Yeah, it's very much like an M die. And then, depending on the length of the case, you put that in first and then put one of those on behind it, or just use this. And it comes with, so this is a 316 by 312, and the 316 part is going to be this fatter part right here. And then the 312 is going to be that part. So if you're running a 314 and you want a bullet and you want 2 thousandths of neck tension, this is the plug you'd want. And then it's going to have that little step right there, which it's going to expand it 4 thousandths, so that bullet's going to set right there. That cast lead bullet's going to set right there on that little step very efficiently.
So instead of getting a flare, you get like a little pocket, and the bullet starts square and straight instead of being able to, wiggle and woggle all around.
Right.
Yeah, it's a take off the Lyman M die.
But you can buy just that expander, and I don't know what they cost, but we can probably find out pretty quick. Okay.
Good night, Daniel.
We need to let Sharonda talk for a minute.
It's going to be a real quick minute. I just want to tell you guys good night. I got to do mandatory overtime tonight and tomorrow. Woohoo! More reloading money. You hear my sarcasm. All right, good night, guys. I'm going to still be listening in the background.
Good night. Good night.
Thanks for coming, Sharonda. We missed you.
I missed y'all too.
Hurry back.
Give our best to Chef.
All right, so Reloader 762, who told me about these things, and I bought them I bought this one specifically for 7.62 by 54R. So, yeah, he says 650, but don't just order one of these things and then pay more for the shipping than you paid for this thing, you know. Make it worthwhile. There's K24. Absolutely, buddy.
Yep.
Find you a nice bullet mold and then throw this in the cart when you check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Or get additional sizers or something else. Buy their sizer kit. Or
I was just going to touch on that, CW. To everybody just getting started or who hadn't started casting yet, go ahead, spend the money, buy the sizer kit for NOE. You can spend all the money you want to buying all the little Lee kits and all that stuff. No. Buy the NOE kit because the little inserts that go in the same die all the way up to, I think it's 68 caliber. They're like between $6 and $9 a piece. You don't have to pay $24 and have a whole stack of red cups that you're never going to use. That
Well,
don't
this is what
you want.
This is what Lee's doing now, Kyle. It's basically the same thing as the NOE.
Yeah, for the
Also,
APP.
they heard my complaints.
Yeah, it's for the APP press.
Yeah.
But I can use it on my little C press back there.
Oh, with the adapter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just took a peanut jar and cut a hole in it in the top. Put that in there.
What'd you do with the
So that's
peanut?
how rednecks do. But yeah.
Did Jamie, did you see the video I posted today?
I don't know if I saw today. I think the one I saw today and made a comment on was from yesterday, wasn't it?
I didn't notice. I don't remember. But I made one. I was casting up some 314 299 Lymans. And I gave you a little call out there.
Well, I'll have to go check that out.
I didn't see that either. What time did you post that?
Just before I came on, maybe an hour or so before.
Yeah,
But it
I
was
didn't
given,
see
I've had
that.
all kinds of problems recently. It wants me
Yeah.
to do this Premiere thing now. And I don't know what really that is. And this time when I clicked it, it told me it was 23 hours before it was going to be posted. So I don't understand. I know just enough to get in trouble.
It's making you do the Premiere upload.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should always be. You should be able to like upload now. The Premiere is like it'll show people
Yeah, 21 more hours it says.
yeah, and then when it starts off with some music. It does a countdown from like 10 seconds. So
Right.
I did edit, and then I went and it says publish now, and I clicked on that, and I said public, and it forces me to set as an instant premiere. And
I wonder if you can uncheck that.
You probably have to go into the studio.
Now it's starting 9:02. Premiering
Yep,
shortly. Okay. You just got it. Okay. Well, that solved that. I tried to do that. It wouldn't let me do it before.
I think that's a notification for us.
They change it so much. You got to have an instruction manual to even figure it out. Wait a minute.
Yep, I got it.
It is.
Yep,
Right
I just
there.
got it too.
Okay. So basically, the Lee thing that goes in the APP press is basically this thing, which is the goes into their, what do they call that? CW, the
It's an adapter. It's a 3-leg adapter.
breech lock,
Yeah, breech lock. Yeah, that's it.
and it's threaded on the inside. And then it's got this little collar bushing right here that's sized to the particular size and die, and it's got a little bevel right there, which is nice. And then you just drop that down in there, and then stick this through the lid of your jar, and then screw it in there. Now,
but all my bullets will fall out. I start and drill holes in my lids.
Is it the same bushing as that?
They're valuable. Yeah, I believe it is. I believe it is the same.
I never understood why they made this press where it needed a bushing. I mean, why don't you just thread it the right way, or did you misdrill it? Now we have to come up with a bushing. I don't know.
So if you could, what would be ideal is if you could buy this part once and then buy these over and over and over again, or just buy different ones of these.
So
But
I think they made it for like a quick change thing.
right,
I do
yeah,
believe you can buy just these bushings.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
comes
the
with
bushings you can.
talking about
I've
leaves,
got them,
right?
but
Yeah.
Yeah, the bushing and the stem. That's what it comes with in the kit.
and the stem, yeah.
Yeah, so
But I don't know what they cost.
they call it a punch. So it'll come with, like, as y'all see, this one's 309. Come with a bullet sizer, which is
Yeah,
that bushing that they just showed, and just a
Oh, the
punch.
punch, the push through. Yeah, the
Yeah.
stem, whatever you call it. Pusher, the bullet pusher.
But initially, I did have to buy the sizing kit. See, I don't own an APP or ACP but I do own 2 breech lock presses, and I love them for what they
that's
do to change out. You know, I like the function of the quick change, the bushings, the breech locks
right.
now.
So Warsaw's got a buddy that's making jewelry out of brass casings. He's a Marine. So Warsaw, you want to put a link to his website, Red Glare USA. There you go.
Is he melting the brass down and making stuff out of it, or is he taking old casings and going that route?
Looks like he's got a channel. Maybe he'll show it.
Yeah, throw a link up there if you can, Warsaw. If not, I believe you have my email and our phone number. You can send it to me and I'll put it up there.
So anyway, I was casting some 314 299s, which ought to be a dandy bullet for your Russian. I'm hoping it's a good one in my Argentine, and a local friend of mine who I shoot with just picked up another Smelly. He's from Ireland. He's a citizen now. He's been here for 30 something years, and he had to sell the gun he served with, and this is a replacement of that. And he showed me a picture the other day, and it looks like brand new, but I don't know all the models to know which one it is. But he's going to start loading for it, so I'm going to go see him tomorrow, and I'm bringing him a set of dies and a shell holder and a box of these bullets. So he's going to be surprised over that, as long as he's not watching.
It's always a pleasant surprise.
What weight is that?
I didn't weigh them. But this is them right here. They're over 200.
Oh, you got some time and work in those, gas checked and everything.
Yeah, there's 4 of these bags.
These babies are ready to roll.
Yeah, they're all ready for them.
You reckon some of them might be
Yeah.
some of them you sent me?
Oh, I have cast it before. I might have sent you some already. But I cast up probably close to 400. So I'll hold on to some for you.
I bet I'll look through them when I get time.
The big ones I have are 311 284, which casts fat. I could make 313 out of that. 284, 311 284, 314 299, and 311 335. I think that's another fat one. They cast and they drop fat, so they'll work for the fat 30s. I call them 303, 765, and the 7 and the Argentine.
So those will work on a 303 infield?
Yeah. Yeah, you need about 313, 314.
Okay.
So,
See, why do they call it a 303?
yep. Well, because of the groove is different. It's English. And they
Well, I'll have
don't
to
even get me
circle back
started
to
on
you.
the English.
We'll have to circle back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
You got to shoot that 54 yet, Jamie?
Oh yeah.
You shoot good
Yeah,
for you?
it's I've had it probably 4 or 5 years. It really does shoot well. Um I've got several loads cast up for it, and that I just got to go to the range and shoot. Problem is my eyes, man. You know,
Is that the one that you brought up to John's Mountain?
uh,
Is it the taco gun or no?
no,
Okay, all right.
no.
William, I hope.
What?
Do what?
I was just reading William's comment. CW, that should make a fine Argentine Mauser bullet. That's what I have. I've got an Argentine Mauser. It's a 1889, the predecessor to the 91 that everybody knows and recognizes. Biggest difference is mine's got a shrouded barrel.
Uh, Warsaw, I'm just gonna have to try to do that later, man. I can't focus on what I'm trying to do. Maybe Chico can make you a mod, or you can you can email me, whatever. But yeah, we're all about trying to. Okay, he sent me an email.
Yeah, I don't have the YouTube side pulled up. I'm actually watching YouTube from my phone.
And I can't figure that kind of stuff out on the run like that.
I'm trying. I don't think a mod can make a mod. I think you got to be an admin.
Russ, how's it going with that fancy rifle you were talking about last time I was on here?
Finally got my optic in for it. And I just haven't had a chance to get to the range to shoot it yet.
Yeah, we're under about 3.5 feet of snow, so
Man,
we ain't going to do much outside either.
So what you're saying is you're going to have to load them hot.
Yeah. And shoot them low. Let them melt the snow. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
you
no
want
problem
some
shooting. Just
Or not
enough getting out there.
incendiaries. Tracers? I don't think you can call them incendiaries. You might get in trouble.
yeah.
Is Warsaw still here?
Yes.
Is this
Yeah.
is this site? Is it an XC site? Because that's the only thing I see for red glare. If I'm saying that right. Or is it does he have his own website? I see a Facebook group too.
All right, here you go.
Red Glare USA.
.com.net.
All right, here is the link to his YouTube.
Okay. He said he don't have, he's working on his website. Okay.
Okay, so he's working on the website. And then let me see here. Here's Here's Facebook.
I wouldn't answer that, Big E.
CW don't own any traditional molds, I don't think.
Fuzz Fork is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I had somebody talking to me the other day about loading for a 303, British 303, and I've never loaded for one. And at this point, I don't know if I want to take that on for him or not.
Right. Well, here you go. You buy all the components
That's what I
and
told
all
him.
the hardware that I need. Bring it to me. That way you don't have to worry about it.
That's what I told him. The thing is, he said, well, my grandfather used to reload, and I know he has a couple of cases of primers. I don't know if he means cases or
Box.
cases. So I told him first thing we have to do is slug the bore.
Bring me all your primers, all your powder, all your projectiles, and a bullet mold. You know, if you don't have projectiles, bring me a bullet mold and some lead.
Yep.
And while you're there, get some powder coat. I'll do the work. You just bring me everything I need to do it.
What's the stick powder? What was that called? Cordite.
Yep. Used to use World War II. Yep.
Yeah, he pulled. We pulled some old 303s looking at it, and that's what was in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's some wild stuff. And we lit it with matches or a lighter, and it would go.
Yeah.
Just crazy stuff.
Georgia Boy 44.
Yep. Hey, Pastor. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Georgia Boy.
Oh, and Sir Georgia Boy, if you've got any slug info on green dot shotgun powder, either give me a call or shoot me an email, please.
Wouldn't that be a little fast?
Okay, so Big E.
I'm asking.
Big E and I've been messaging back and forth on Discord a pretty good bit the last couple of weeks. He sent me a big old box full of bullets, which I showed on the live stream last week. And he got his Arkin SH4 Gen 2 delivered to his house after, how long was it, Big E? Probably 10 weeks. So, I think we just need to invite him to come on here next week and talk about it. What do y'all think?
Sure.
Was that is that normal time? Is that almost the time you spent, right, James?
Mine was 10 weeks and 1 day. So yeah.
Uh-oh, somebody's loading.
I ran out of ammo today.
Chico, those are weak numbers. We have to get those numbers up.
Hey, it's been rough. The primer shortage is real.
I know it is. Angels up me for getting some 38 specials loaded up, and I need to load some 9mm and some 380s and all that. And I'm sitting there looking at that dwindling brick of primers going,
I'm never without. I've got factory ammo. You know what I mean? But and I've got carry ammo, but it's just I was shooting and I was like, I've been going to the range the last 3 days on my lunch.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
you know,
we all got ammo, but ain't none of us got enough. You know what I'm saying?
by the time I get home, by the time I pick my son up, I don't have enough time to go to the range. You know, like got to get dinner, everything. So I've been going on my lunch. I get an hour for lunch. Range is like 3 miles from my job. So, but
Is that the
what
black
you got?
field?
Chico, come on, man. You got to upgrade.
Hey, look, you know what? How much one of those are probably right now is like $300, man.
What?
Oh, is that the vibrator?
I know. You know what? For the longest, I've been doing it like this, and I seen one of those. They used to be fair. I mean, I ain't gonna say cheap, but they were real inexpensive. I'm scared to look at
$42,
anything reloading right now unless it's primers, man. I have a tendency to go on eBay and look at bullet molds, and it just makes my stomach go in knots.
I laugh so hard. I've seen Lee molds go for hundreds of dollars.
Yes, yes. And I was paying like $20-$30 for
Yeah.
steel
What
mold.
they're worth.
Yeah.
Oh, steel mold, yeah.
So,
I've
I've seen
heard
those limos go for about $100, $200. It's like,
There's a Cabela's on my way home from work, and I've been stopping not every day, but every other day, maybe spending about 8 minutes inside the store. That's counting parking, going through, and leaving, because there's nothing there except oddball, off the wall. Nothing powders. There's no bullets. There's no primers. There's no nothing. If a buddy
Take
of
a
mine-
minute and say bye to Curtis.
see you, chap. Thanks for joining.
Bye, chap. Thanks for coming by, buddy.
Good night.
But yeah, there is nothing on shelves that would used to take 15 men to pick up and move 1 foot. 3 people can drag that thing all over the store wherever you want. I mean, there's nothing on the shelves. I've even been in there looking for shotgun stuff. If a buddy of mine didn't get excited about reloading and buy shotgun wads and primers before all this started, I wouldn't have anything to work with. You can't find anything.
Glad we could.
I'm not going to spend all day looking for it. How about that?
Thanks for coming in, Warsaw, and I know some of the guys are already checking out those links. So glad to help out a service member, man.
And Kyle, I'm with you. I ain't standing in no line like people been standing at Academy at 3 or 4. I talk to, because I do shopping at Academy besides essential stuff. They got a good selection of workout gear, and my son likes going there looking at the bow and arrows and other stuff. And I used to find so many deals there, but I was talking to the guy at one of my locals, and he said on the day they get their components in, they open up at 9 or 10, and people are out there sometimes at 3 and 4 in the morning. And I'm not going to do that because I work a regular job. And I'm a single parent at that. So there's no way I'm dragging my son out, even on a Saturday. Saturday, I'm not doing it at all for ammo at that. Now, if they had some primers, I'd consider it. But the hell with that. I'm not doing that at all.
Well, I wouldn't consider it primers anyway, because they're going to want $86 a box for them.
No, you know what? Academy's prices haven't went up like that. That's the one. Academies and Academy, it really haven't went up on prices like that, on ammo prices like other retailers have. And I've been hearing a lot of people say, hey, remember all these companies that's doing this, because when everything turns around, and I'm taking note. I'm taking note. I am not lying. All these companies that are kind of, taking advantage of the situation, the 5 million new gun owners that didn't have ammo, that's kind of was late to the party, unlike most of us. And I'll tell you what a lot of people been saying in our community: stop buying this, stop buying that. Yeah, but 5 million new people who are new gun owners are not going to stop buying it. So the prices are going to continue to be raised, and the supply is going to still continue to be depleted, so to speak. So
I will say this, especially to Chico and Jamie, went to Cherokee Gun and Pawn. I'm like, can you call me when you get some primers in? I'll prepay for them if you'll just sit them behind the counter. He goes, we're not getting them in.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, we're not gonna sell them because people are going to be in here fist fighting, and it's going to turn into an auction, and we're just not going to do it. we're not going to partake in any of this nonsense. We're just not going to carry them until everything stabilizes out.
Yeah. And
I said,
Georgia was right.
You can respect that.
They are reselling them on Outdoor Trader and obviously the gun brokers and Facebook groups and Instagram groups. My Instagram used to be public. Anybody can join me or follow me. And when all this stuff started happening, I started getting these weird follow requests, and it's like ammo something gallery. And then if y'all seen, I made that video where I asked the guy, I was like, he was showing he had primers, 1,000 packs for like regular price that we used to pay for them, $30 and $35. I knew it was too good to be true. Normally if something is, it's a scam.
Right.
And I kept going back and forth with him, asking him questions. What does he have? What kind of primers? He was like, all kinds. I'm like, what brand? What size? And he was like, Winchester. And I was like, what about, I think I asked him about some Tula. He was like, yeah. I was like, you ain't got no Tula. I got some Tula, but you ain't got no Tula primers, bro. And the main thing, and I'll tell you who made a video, Christian Gresh. He's a member of our group. And he's here a lot. He made a video, I think last night, about the ammo scammers. If you're looking at their payment options when you go to check out, I'll tell you, if they do not accept a credit card, I would not spend my money there. If you see PayPal and Vimo and what is it, Cash App and all those other Bitcoin, I was like, no, you are a scammer. So it says Georgia Boy says new primers are going in factory. I mean, that's correct. I seen that video, so I think it will stabilize. We're gonna pay a little bit more, but Signal Soldier, how much were those Tula primers? I'm afraid to ask, because those were the cheapest primers almost anybody could get, and they work great, especially the rifle ones.
I bought some for me and Chico at my local gun store. What was that, about April or May?
It was like $22, $25.
21, I think, and those were up.
Gosh.
Oh man.
Wow.
Selling them, I'll be strung up.
Man.
Now, who had the back to die questions?
Oh, I don't know. Well, let's
Before COVID hit, though, Chico, those same primers were $17.
I bought some at a gun store for $17. Let me look for it, Kyle.
Yeah, we did kind of get off topic a little bit.
Jay. He said, I saved my 9mm carbide RCBS sizer that had a headless steel cartridge. Jammed it into it with some JB Weld steel putty, stuffed it in the cartridge, pressed it out, clean, useful tip. You should do a video on that. If you have any pictures or something like that, that will be, you'd be surprised some of the simple stuff that will get, that's useful as a tip.
One thing I've done for a stuck case, a 308 case, is I can't remember the exact size drill bit, but drill out the bottom of the case, tap it, get you an oversized nut and a washer and a bolt, and just screw the bolt in there. It'll pull that case out.
Well, that's RCBS's prescribed method.
Is it? I would.
Yeah.
It was Sunday night, and I was like, hey, Mike, can I borrow your vise for a minute? I went down the street to my buddy's house. I got an idea.
Yeah. I've removed one with a vise before I took my die to the job, and I crimped it in that vise. Not the die, just the little bit of brass that was sticking out. I made it almost flat just so it'll bite it, and I took a little wrench up under it and just pried it, and it came right out. And that's how I learned the hard way about not using lube.
Yeah, I made a moron moment, and I was trying to pre-set up to get ready to load 308s, and I ran one in there dry, and it was done. It pulled it out of my Dillon case holder. I was like, oh no.
Actually, speaking about that piece of brass, I only did it one time. It was in my Dillon dies.
Whoa, back up. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, buddy.
That looks really good. That's a nice job.
Man,
that's the way mine look.
I cranked that thing in that vise and it came out.
I bored a hole right through the primer pocket because I knew the case was junk because it didn't have a case head on it anymore. And I dug through the toolbox, found a bolt a little bit bigger, and found a tap and a bolt that I had laying there, and tapped it, sat the bolt on there, or sat the nut on there, ran the bolt down, about 3 turns with the ratchet, and that baby was out. Yeah, everybody's got their own little tricks, I guess.
So, did we miss anything else out there when we answered that? When we read that.
Dang it, Pastor.
I think they have some on Bear Creek Arsenal.
No, he's looking for the gun, not the brass.
That's what I'm talking about. They got some uppers. They can throw it on a regular 223 lower.
They do. And
Hey, you really only need the barrel. As long as the gas tube's the same, you could really only do it with just the barrel.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as you pick the right gas tube length, yeah.
But that's what happened to me, Georgia boy. I end up getting some 308 dies and had to buy a 308. So
It happens. I won 44 mag molds from Full Lead Taco. Had to buy 44.
Jamie, did you have a chance to measure that nose of that bullet?
No, but I will if you'll give me a minute.
Well, I'll give you a minute.
Down, down, down,
I know, right?
down.
This is that, where are we here? This is the NOE.
Yeah, that's the fat baby right there.
It's got a big nose on it. Other than that, it's identical to the RCBS. Crimp groove placement, everything is the same. The profile of the very tip is a little bit different, but other than that, it's identical. It's a nice looking bullet, but it changes so much with that tip. I checked on their site, NOE, and they don't list it. It's called, it says 360 200 FN on the mold. They don't show it. So it must have been
like an old stock deal. They've changed the profile of it or something.
I don't really know. I sent him an email. I know he's really busy. I know he's really busy. I could call him, but it's not that important. I know he's real busy, so I don't want to bother him.
Full Lead Tacos out there. I bet he knows what's
I thought about sending Mike an email because I do have his information. He might know too. He's on here. He's on here right there, yeah. But they show a 360 214. So I'm really tempted. I wanna order the MP 200 hollow point, but that's not available. So I might order that NOE.
There's Full Lead Taco.
CW, ask that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Russ.
And GGW, you don't need a new bolt if you're going from 5.56 to 300. Same bolt.
Mm-hmm.
All it needs is a barrel.
Ask that question again, CW.
About the bullet profiles from NOE.
Yeah.
They show a 360 214 right now, which looks identical. It's just a little bit heavier. 10 grains here or there isn't going to make any difference to me. I've got a 220 MP mold. I've got a 200 MP mold, both borrowed, and they shoot lights out next to everything else. So that the least got a pretty good nose on it too then, Jamie.
It does.
Let me measure this one while you're right there.
What's up, Taco? Glad to see you out there, buddy. Long time no see.
Hey, Taco, how you doing, buddy?
I don't
Bet
have my
Taco
glasses.
doesn't even recognize me now. I used to be as clean shaven as he is. Uh, 309, 125.
This is a 220 nose. 0.220. That's a good size. The RCBS, I'm going to say, is probably it's at least 1/3 less. At least 1/3 less. And somebody had asked, I think James Pollard asked in my video if I knew that the RCBS was the first one. And I put it up on a couple boards I'm on. One of the boards I'm on, there's some guys on there that are super knowledgeable. And they all seem to think that RCBS was first. They said, the one guy said that when RCBS assumed L House, there wasn't a good 35 caliber bullet. So they created this one, and it was designed for the 35 rem. Then they come out with that 250 grain, which worked good in the 35 rem, but it was really more made for the 358 and 35 Whalen.
Yeah, I think this is more this 200 grain.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 220 also.
Okay, so it's near identical to the NOE. That makes a difference. It really does. That me-plat little bit of diameter difference makes a good difference.
Hey, Walter.
Jamie, is that the same bullet mold that you let me use for a little bit?
Yes, sir. Now, of course, mine's powder coated, so I mean it looks smaller, but 220 is about as small as I can get it and still feel like I got a grip on that point right there.
Yep. Mine was actually powder coated as well. It's just a matte silver. It just comes out looking like as cast.
Yeah, I like that color that you had, CW. That
Yeah, I think
like
you
that.
were able to watch that video before I shut it down. I saw you and Tim in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I had to shut it down. I had some information there the guy didn't want me to release, so I'm working with him to get that straightened out, get his email and information and everything straightened out so that I can repost that, because he doesn't make anything. He offers some really nice powders. And I know Georgia Boys bought from him, and I've turned a couple of the other guys on to him. I had just received 4 powders in the mail from him, and they're dynamite. They work really well. They've all been field. Yeah, I see it, James.
That powder right there is one of my favorite colors. That's the aqua from Eastwood.
And of course, y'all all know that any of the colors that are shown on any live stream or any YouTube video or anything are not the colors that he's holding up. I mean, it like blues look purple, and that kind of stuff. Because I've got some Eastwood Aqua in 380 that Cranky sent me, and if
Cranky loves that color.
It looks like 4 dark blue.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm looking to see if I have an aqua here in my pile. No, I don't have an aqua blue out here.
That one looks that picture on the live stream. It looked more green than it really is.
It depends on how your
I've got it too. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it's one of those
contrast is set on your.
One of them green blues that people with green blue color blindness. I mean, it's one of those colors. You can look at it and it's more blue, and you look at it again, it's more green, even in different lights in your house. Or, I like to take my stuff outside in the summertime, outside in the sunlight, and then take my pictures because it's as true as it's going to be. But then you can goose them up on your phone and make them all kinds of crazy casts as well. So you're right. All the screens are different. People's got their screen set up different. Your TV, you look at TV show you've watched and you go over your buddy's house and watch it. It looks totally different because his set up on the colors when he set TV. So you're right. They're going to be all over the map.
Yeah.
This is, I have a hard time finding that camera. This is, I believe it's Sean Williams, Matt Chrome. I think it's Matt Chrome. I got it in the video anyway.
Yeah, that's a
Hey, Mike.
That's a good looking coating there.
It's a nice powder. It really is. It coats well. It covers well. And being the color that it is, if it didn't coat well, you wouldn't even hardly notice.
Right.
But you can feel it, You roll the bullet on, you can feel that it's got a coating on it.
I've got a couple of Eastwoods that are the same way. The bullet is coated, although the color is splotchy.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that it is coated, but,
G. Pishner, the 7.62 by 54 is coming along great. Now, mine is a Finnish Mosin. It's not just a regular Russian Mosin the gun. And the MCK has shot it. The bolt's a little sticky. We got to do some work on that, but I've got the first loads ready to take and test them suckers out. So,
Jamie, you need some honing compound?
I don't know. I got 4 different kinds.
Oh, okay. All right. I was about to say I got some if you need it. Yeah, exactly, Taco. Exactly. I look over at my brick of primers and I'm like, I might need to load some 9mm, some 38s, and oh man, do I open this one or not?
Well, I've been working on 38s and 357 Magnums this week. So MCK sent that to me, and he's calling it turquoise.
It's close.
So,
yep, it's real close.
That's what I'm assuming the official name of it is, and so.
Well, they call it aqua blue. That's what Eastwood calls it, but it's turquoise. He's right.
It's a pretty color.
It is.
I think anytime we load something that right now, that's on our mind, in the back of our mind anyway. And we've all got buddies coming to you. And Russ, I know you do too. You ain't said anything in a few minutes. But we all have friends that are coming to us and saying, can you make me some ammo, or do you got you got some ammo you'll sell me? Can you make me some? And I'm like, I did some for a friend of mine at work. I did some 300 blackout, mainly because he let me have the upper so I could take my measurements and take them out and shoot them and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have ordinarily done that, but I had to ask myself, am I going to be able to replace these primers? And he said he'd buy me some primers, and he paid me well for doing it. I didn't ask him for anything, but he bought everything. And when I say he paid me well, that's what I mean. He bought everything except the powders and the primers. He bought a brand new set of dies. He bought brand new brass. He bought 2 different bullets, and then I threw in some cast bullets I had. I loaded him up some Lyman 311 410s, if you know what that one is, CW.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's a good bullet.
Yeah, 130, 140 grain.
I shot my first Zinkers cast out of that mold from, I got them from Willie, but I don't know where they actually came from. I got a feeling they came from Andy. But they shot pretty well. I shot them in the 30-30, though. I didn't shoot them in the 300. I haven't been able to make my 300 shoot cast bullets worth shooting them, as far as I'm concerned. especially when I know the gun will shoot, in the same hole with jacketed. It just won't shoot cast.
Well, that's what I mean. I was shooting 1-inch groups with those.
I can get 1-inch at 50. I can do that, but that at 50 yards, I'm shooting 30 caliber holes with jacketed bullets. So,
well, that's what I'm trying to say. If I can get it out, I was shooting the cast with at 30, 35 yards. I was shooting inch groups, and then I got to test some of them loads with jacketed bullets, like you're saying, CW. And I'm talking about same hole, one hole. It's amazing. I mean, that's the first time I ever tried it, and it was crazy. So I absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with you, brother.
I picked up a cheap Savage bolt action, a 340. It's an original 340, so it's a 55 or 56 gun in 30-30. And I've been having a lot of fun shooting that up until this snow with, I've used Reloader 7 and 4198 and 2400 so far. And 4198 has been the best. I've shot a lot of one-hole groups at 50 yards. And then you get that flyer, which you get so often with cast bullets. But out of 100 yards, I'm easily going to hit a golf ball 80+% of the time at 100 yards with open sights.
Wow.
So I'm pretty impressed with that because I'm getting older too, and I don't see them as well.
That's all you can ask for right there.
It certainly is.
Yeah, I can't even see what I'm shooting at 100 yards anymore. Go ahead, Russ. What were you saying, buddy?
It's about like if your buddies want you to make stuff for them these days, that's about like people saying, well, when the shit hits the fan, I know where I'm going. Hoss, you ain't welcome. I mean, I don't know.
There's only a couple that I'll let into my house, but they know who they are.
Yeah, that's right.
I took a buddy of mine at work. I took him some 9mm and some 40 just because I had a little bit extra. It was stuff I had laying on the table. I hadn't even put it in my ammo cans yet. And I'm like, okay. Then another guy said, how much for some 9mm? And I told him. And he goes, well, that's a little expensive, ain't it? I said, not when you can't find it.
That's right.
I said, either you going to pay me for it or you ain't going to get it. I don't care. I got it. I don't care if you do or not. I'm not price gouging. I got time involved, and I got to replace these components. And right now, components are stupid. You're actually getting a deal. If you could find the components at what they want to prices for today, you're actually getting a deal, and you ain't got to do nothing except come over to the house.
There you go. Me and CW's in that class. Well, I am. Obviously, CW shoots better than I do, so maybe not.
I saw him throw the glasses on a minute ago. I saw
Oh,
that.
yeah. I can't see. But my trigger finger still works.
Yep. I
And
got
the
all
bullets mostly go where I want them to.
I can still shoot straight.
Okay, we got to start wrapping things up here, but I got a question for everybody. We talked touched on dyes, and we talked a lot about dyes, but we touched on molds as well. I have the Lee 225 55, that 6-cavity Lee 223 mold. And I've got a few of those cast up, but everybody says that they can't we can't get them to shoot. I know who is it? I think it's Dummy Round is working with.
Yeah, I got real excited about that video, and all I did was load them up. I was like, "Go ahead and shoot them, big boy. Go ahead,
I
see
saw
what you
that.
do."
Did you see the video after? He showed a group of like 6. He said, that doesn't look too bad. And then he backs the camera up, and it looked like a basketball.
Yeah,
It looked like a shotgun.
and it was at rather close distance.
I think it was 50 yards.
Yeah,
But anyway,
okay.
I'm saying good night, Lee. Have a good weekend, buddy. Y'all say bye to the thoughts of an old soldier.
Good
night.
All right.
I'm seeing these molds on eBay selling for $150.
How do I get on eBay?
Would
Who
it
wants to sell it
be
for me?
would it be worth my while to throw that thing up on eBay and sell it?
Hell yes.
Or if any of you guys want it and got something you can trade me for it, just say the word and we'll work out a trade. But yeah.
Who's got a nickname count? I'll throw mine in there.
It's the Lee 225 55 grain round flat.
Oh, it's a 5.56 223, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think you gave me some of those, didn't you? Somebody gave me some, I think.
I gave a bunch of people a bunch of them just because I didn't want to go through the heartbreak of melting them back down.
I got a mold last summer. A friend of mine down in Virginia read on the local paper he was selling molds, and he didn't know what he did. He had a bucket full, and he wanted $40. A bucket full. Well, he raced over there, and somebody beat him to it. But I think I got some more, and he went in his garage, and he pulled out probably about 10 molds, and he asked them if any of these were of interest to him. So he called me up, sent me pictures, and I said, well, he's just starting out casting, this kid. I said, most of these are pretty good. If you can get them for the right price, I'd grab them. There's really nothing there I'd want, except maybe one Lee was a 452 225 round nose, but it was an old version of it with a hollow point. I said, I'd like to have that one, but I won't pay anything for it because I don't really need it. But if he wants to if you can get it cheap, I'll take it. Otherwise, let somebody else have it who got to have it. He says, the guy's going to look for more and call me in the morning. So he calls me back at noontime. He says, you still interested in splitting these molds with me? And I've done that with him a lot, but we didn't talk about it this time. So I said, well, yeah, we can split them. I said, don't spend more than $100. He says, okay, I'll call you back. He told me, you owe me $40. So he spent $80 total. And he got I want to say he got 15 molds. Wow. Everything was 2 cavity, 1 and 2 cavity. But there was 1 or 2 Lees, and all the rest were Lymans or Seikos. And they were all nice. And in there was, and I don't remember the number, but I do remember it was a real funky looking 63 grain 2.2 caliber gas check. It's got I want to say it's got a couple of crimp grooves, and then it's got a wide band, a wide driving band, and then it's got 1 lube groove, and then the gas check. And it's 63. It's a long bullet. Believe it or not, that bullet shoots lights out in my Savage 222 with a 1 in 16 twist, which it shouldn't shoot in. It should be too long. But it shoots touching bullets at 50 yards. So I was never a fan of 22 cast bullets, but I only ever really shot them in a 223. I shot some in a Hornet when I was first starting out reloading and casting with my grandfather, and that was loaded on a 310 tool, and then later on a Lyman Junior. And they shot okay for him, but I was really too young to realize and remember it. He pulled the trigger and the woodchuck died, or the tin can jumped her. So it was shooting straight for him. But I've had more trouble with the 223, and I believe it's all the same reason as the 300 Blackout. It's that fast twist. It just is not friendly with cast bullets, and I've cast them. I've quenched wheel weights. I've quenched monotype and shot it, and it doesn't make any difference. It's not hardness. It's not softness. It's not gas check. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I can shoot it to the plinking ammo. If I didn't know how well the gun shot with jacketed, I probably maybe could be satisfied as a plinker. But having shot other calibers, like my 375 Winchester shoots cast bullets as good as any jacketed bullet. The 30-30 shoots them just as good as any jacketed bullet. 358 Winchester shoots just as good as any jacketed bullet with a cast bullet. Now, for me, it's inside 200 yards. You know, if I was going past 200, I'd just be looking at jacketed. But for me and most of the stuff I do, 200 is long range, and it's speaking to hunting mostly.
I tell you what I'm going to do, James Efkridge, if I'm saying your name right. I know I said it right last time. I tell you what I'm going to do for you, buddy. And he's still asking questions. Let me help you out, and if you'll send me an email at either jh586sw@gmail.com or georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. I'm going to send you a pack of these right here. These are Hornady AMAX 52 grain 223, 224 bullets. So send me an email with your address and I'll send you a pack of 100 of these bullets. Just because the Georgia Shooting Connection loves you, brother. What a deal, huh? Alright, before we get ready to get off here, and we're almost to that time. Lighter bullets, faster twist rate. No. Heavier bullets, faster twist rate. So your 70, 69, 65, 69, 77, all those are going to work better in a 1 in 7 twist. Whereas these right here, 52 grain bullets, are work better in the 1 in 9 twist. Am I feeling that right?
Well, something you got to remember about twist, and everybody got themselves all wound up in a tizzy. You got to remember, it is impossible to overstabilize a bullet. Having said that, you can over-rotate a bullet, but you can't overstabilize it. What that means is you can always look on a computer and spreadsheets and figure out optimal rate of twist with the length of your bullet, because weight means nothing. It's the length of your bullet. And there'll always be an optimal perfect on paper. But the fastest twist going will still shoot the lightest bullet just fine. The fastest twist will not shoot, or the slower twist rather, will not shoot the longest bullets very well at all. It can't stabilize them. They're not spinning fast enough to stabilize. But a faster stabilization, 1 in 7 in a 223, is going to spin that little 40 grain bullet millions of RPMs, but it's still going to be accurate. It's still going to be fine. It may come apart because the jacket is really thin. That's a whole different scenario. It's not going to be inaccurate because it's stabilization problems.
That's what you're talking about there is a problem with bullet construction.
Yes.
So
You can also have, some of those bullets just being what they are. They're designed for varmints and such, and they're going to have a thinner jacket. You may have a new barrel with sharp rifling. Put those two together and the fast RPMs. Yeah, you can have a compound. I've seen it. I've done it myself. We were shooting pigeons at about 250 yards with a 22-250, and I couldn't hit anything. And my buddy was laughing at me because I have a much better shot than he is, and I couldn't hit anything. And it was later on we were shooting when we found out what was happening. My bullets were actually disintegrating before they reached the target. I believe they were 40 grain spears made for the 22 Hornet. And I used them because I was getting like 4,100 feet per second out of them. I thought that was the way to go. I was young and inexperienced.
Done the same thing.
Yep. But just remember, you cannot over-stabilize a bullet. So don't be afraid of shooting the really light bullets in the fast twist barrels.
And my other one's a 1 and 7. And it's the one. I mean, a 1 and 8. The 1 and 8 is a 223 Wild 20-inch barrel. That is a 5.56 1 and 9 with a 16-inch government contour. So it would work the best with probably with those 52 grains. Anyway, we gotta wrap it up. Chico's loading. Can you take a break and go through the side chat and get us out of here, Chico?
Yep. Let me pull.
I'll do it if you want me to.
I can do it from my phone. Let's see. Hit that. Going to is it 10:01? Dang, yeah, it is. So starting from the bottom, going up. James Pollard, James Evs. Nope, I ain't even gonna mess it up. James EVESKCIGE. Thanks for being here. GGW Reloading, James Pollard, Fuzz T Fork 8, AR Guns 1776, G Pishner, James Pollard, Full Lead Taco. Thanks for being here, brother. Idaho Rogers, USMC. Thanks for being here. West Covina Dodge. We've got more of y'all. Willie Bullet Man, Buzz T Fork 8. Rebels out there. K24. Eat Bacon. Georgia Boy 44 was here, or probably still is here. Andy 79Z28. Big E. Ghost Rider USA. Broke Loader. Chris 338. MCK. Kyer, Just Some Guy. BPJ. Thanks for the questions. Signal Soldier 31. William C. Chaplin was here. Russ is on the panel with us. Reloader 762 is always knowledgeable out there about cast bullets. Big Al was here. I missed and let me go to the side up here. Let's see. Did I miss? I'm sure I did, because it says it's how many of y'all out there. It says a lot of y'all out there, so thanks for joining us. Let me see if I can go through somebody. It says 41 of y'all out here. MCK, Willie Bullet Man, James. Oh, it was a lot of y'all, but my computer or my phone didn't show. It showed me the last like 30 minutes, and it was a lot of same people chatting in the comments. So thanks for being here, everyone. We really appreciate it. I was a little late because I had some other obligations, so I appreciate y'all with my people over here, and y'all have a great one. I will. Oh, I don't know what I have coming up. I don't know. I am just gonna continue doing some organizing and stuff like that. And that is it for me, y'all. Watch out for maybe videos, maybe if I get the urge or the motivation to do it. Life is busy over here for me, so that is it for me. CW, thanks for joining us, brother. You got anything coming up besides what you just posted earlier? You always put out amazing videos, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the invite. On more videos. I got a video I'm waiting for. I alluded to a little earlier about one of my spares for powder coat. Got guys have asked me about where I get it, what's the best, what to use. So that's hopefully going to be a helpful one for them. So look for that soon. And that's about it. Everyone be safe. God bless you all.
Thanks for being here, CW. We appreciate you more than you know. There's Mr. Russ. What you got coming up, bud?
I just got a few more test rounds to make up and try to get to the range as quick as I can. Where if work will let me, but that's about it.
Record it. Russ is very knowledgeable. We're blessed to have him on here with us. And we got Eat Bacon out there. Thanks, man. I saw your email. I'll check that out as soon as we get done. So remember, James, send me an email. Kyle, what you got coming up, brother?
I think I'm gonna do a little bit of casting tomorrow. We're gonna play around with some buckshot, probably buckshot and slugs. We're gonna do some casting tomorrow, and because it's gonna be nice and cool. Like, what is it like? Gonna be like 34 degrees or something. So I may video some of that. I know I haven't put out just a regular random video in a minute. I'm sorry, I was eating a burrito. That's why I killed my camera and everything. Y'all don't want to see that. So I'm probably going to do that. I want to thank everybody for being here. Another wonderful Friday night. And let's just look forward to looking forward. That's all we can do.
Well, buddy, thanks for keeping on, which is what we do here at the Georgia Shooting Connection. We got a lot of stuff going on in our world that ain't exactly the way we like it, but we get to come in here on Friday nights and leave that mess out there, and we get to visit with each other, unwind, and so I thank all y'all for coming. We had, I think, 54, 55 at one point tonight. So we want to thank everybody that comes in. Great to see some guys we hadn't seen in a while. We saw Tacos out there. Warsaw Patriot was out there. And we value all of you. Every single one of you. And we hope the Lord will bless y'all all real good. We're in touch. Y'all be in touch. Send us an email at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com, or you can find us at Gmail. Georgia Shooting Connection on Instagram. Anyway, Lord bless y'all real good. Lord willing, we will see y'all same bat time, same bat channel next week.